All right, welcome to Problems of the Week 5. We're on Thursday and Friday. Let's take a look. Thursday's problem. The boys' cabins are all shaped with a rectangular prism on the bottom and a triangular prism on the top. The girls' cabins are all shaped with a rectangular prism on the bottom and a rectangular pyramid on the top. Draw the shape of each cabin. Okay, so what I have here, what they're asking me to do, is draw a picture of the boys' cabin and the girls' cabin. So I got two different things going on here. Let's go back into the paragraph and look for some clues as to what each characteristic has. So when I look at the boys' cabins, it says that they're shaped with a rectangular prism on the bottom and a triangular prism on the top. Now, if you've forgotten your geometry and what certain prisms look like, whether they're rectangular or triangular, if you look in your planner, in the back, there is a list. I know they're on the gray pages. I want to say it's like R10, R11. It has this whole geometry page, which gives all of these three-dimensional pictures of what a rectangular prism and a triangular prism would look like. But I'll go ahead and share that with you. A rectangular prism means that I'm going to have rectangles for my ends, and it's going to be a 3D figure. So if I have a rectangle and it's a 3D figure, it would look something sort of like this on the bottom with rectangular sides. Now, the top is going to be a triangular prism. So the prism is still going to be sort of long-shaped, but the sides, instead of rectangles, are going to be triangles. So you see I have two triangles on either side, and then the last thing I have to do is connect them. So there you go. There's your boys' cabin. So let's move on then to what it says about the girls' cabin. It says the girls' cabins are shaped with a rectangular prism on the bottom, just like the boys, but on the top it's a rectangular pyramid. So let's go ahead and set up the bottom portion of the girls' cabin. Remember, it's a rectangular prism, so it's got to have a rectangle. And I'll draw in my perception lines there. And you have to think about what you know about pyramids. Pyramids, as you know, meet at the top, and all points meet at the top. So that is what a rectangular pyramid on the top would look like. Great job, guys. Alright, which brings us to Friday. And Friday's problem looks extremely intimidating, but you shouldn't be intimidated. It's actually quite fun. This is a logical reasoning problem. That's the strategy that you're going to be using, is some logical reasoning here, okay? And basically, you know it's logical reasoning because it's going to give you some clues. So let's hear what it says. It says, use the clues below to determine the first and last names of the 6 boys who were in one of the cabins. When you know that a first and last name do not go with each other, make an X under the last name and across the first name. When you know that a first and last name do go together, write yes in the box. And then you can then X that first and last name for all the others. Okay, so I always insist that you read through all the clues, because you never know when you might have a sure thing clue listed in there. And you don't want to start working and getting really frustrated on clues 1 and 2 when you could have had some of the answers in problems 4 and 5. So let's read through our clues. Clues. Neither Mike nor Raoul has the last name of Moore or Brown. George and the Buckland boy live next door to each other. Sal Mitchell and Tim Sorry compete in the local dance competitions. The Buckland boy and Sam are best friends. Raoul's initials are RM, and each boy has different initials. So, let's go back, and were there any clues that stood out as, pardon me. All right, welcome back. So what I was saying was, were there any clues that were sure things? And I hope you noticed in clue number 3, It mentioned Sal Mitchell and Tim Sorry. They gave us some answers here. So under Saul and Mitchell, I'm going to write a Y for yes, because that's his first and last name. So what that means is I'm going to put X's through all of the other last names for Sal, because those wouldn't work for him. And actually, I'm going to change my yes to a different color just so it kind of stands out a little bit. We'll put a green Y for yes. That means Tim, sorry, is a yes. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to X out all of the other options that would have been for Tim's last name. So we know it's not Buckland, it's not Mitchell, it's not McCain, it's not Moore, it's not Brown. So we already have 2 answers. Now, I want you to think about this the other way. So we know that Sal can't have, or Tim, have those other last names. But what does this mean for the last name Mitchell? If Sal's last name is Mitchell, can Sam have the last name Mitchell? No. Can Raul have the last name Mitchell? No. What about Mike or George? No. So I'm kind of eliminating a lot of possibilities just by this one clue. So the same would go for the last name Sorry. We know Tim's last name is Sorry, so it's not Sam's or Raul's, Mike's, or George's last name. And look at that. Just by this one simple clue, we've narrowed down quite a bit. There is another kind of sure thing clue down here. Take a minute and reread those to yourself, or you could pause the video. That gives us a really interesting possibility. All right. I wondered if you kind of took a look at clue 2, where it said George and the Buckland boy live next door to each other. Okay, so if George and the Buckland boy live next door, can George have the last name Buckland? No. So I can X out George and Buckland as a possibility, because obviously they're different people. All right, so that leaves us with neither Mike nor Raul has the last name of Moore or Brown. So let's go to Mike. It just said he can't have the last name of Moore or Brown. So those are no's. That's why I'm crossing them off. And Raul cannot as well. So neither Mike nor Raul has the last name of Moore or Brown. All right, so that's really sort of narrowing down the field here. So we have gone through together and eliminated clues 1, 2, and 3. So based on what we have left on our board, go ahead and logically reason and eliminate the choices based on clue 4, 5, and 6. Good luck, guys.